Yeni bölümle hoş geldiniz. Şimdiden iyi seyirler.
They'd hang them up outside their dwellings, show their support for their brother.
Come on, Traitor! Off your back!
Locked. It requires 2 keys.
What are they keeping back there?
That's the beauty of a locked door. It could be anything. Monsters, treasure. Knowing our luck, will be a bit of both.
I see an entrance!
We never do seem to get rid of those things.
I hope Freyr will appreciate our work here in the desert. I wonder if he knows how poorly this realm has fared in his absence.
Aye. Hearing the Song of the Sands again is a rare privilege, even if it's only a solo act.
Or a duet, once this Hofgufa is free. This architecture. It is not of the Dark Elves.
An abandoned ancient settlement by the looks of it. Built long before the Lightwell's creation.
More hive matter as well.
I'd say we're on the right track then.
Blocked.
Could I reach it from down here? This kind of hive material is sensitive to sound. How odd. When I last came here with you and Atreus, I assumed the absence of all-time light was an aberration. I didn't realize it was covered by hive matter.
Aye. And as far as the Dark Elves are concerned, it's that light column in the center of the temple that's the aberration. Just look at how old some of these surfaces are. Far older than the Lightwell, or even our trapped Hafgiver for that matter.
That's quite the empathetic perspective, Mimir.
Well, dangle from a burly god's backside for a few winters, and you'll find yourself looking for all sorts of new perspectives.
There you go.
Enemy behind you, Kratos! Enemies to your left!
Aggressive! French, left flank! Poison left side!
Behind you! It's down!
Night elves.
Big ball of light coming your way! Right side! One left!
Light elves don't often travel underneath the barrens, do they?
Territory changes hands often in Alfheim. Or so it appears.
Big Veer did mention that these ruins have historical significance for the Light Elves. I assume they're only here to keep intruders out.
Well, at least they tried.
I suspect the corpse below would disagree. Good eye. Let's continue, shall we?
was a dazzling display once. The skies of Alfheim filled with their song.
I imagine it's the lack of fresh light that's caused this pair to grow abnormally large. No use in having babies if there's nothing for them to feed on.
Trying to protect their children from a harsh world. I can relate. I wonder if these two comprehend the choice they face once free.
What choice do you speak of?
The life cycle of the Hofguther. In order to breed, they must pass on their light to their children.
And without light, they will die.
I suppose that's all any of us can hope for in the end. That our death has purpose. That we can live on through our children. Given another chance, I know what choice I will make. Good. Almost there. Well done. Time to set it loose.
Aye, back to the surface then. On your right! Right, watch out! Behind you! Incoming!
Behind you! Look out!
A pipe.
Used in many of Freyr's blessings, I imagine.
The fate of these creatures. It reminds me of a story.
Does it?
There once was a blacksmith whose king commanded him to construct a box that could contain all the evils of the world. But no metal could hold such a power. So the blacksmith used the flame of...
Kratos, is this a story meant to ease my grief?
Perhaps it is just a story. A way to pass the time.
I appreciate the sentiment, but, well, your stories,
What about my stories?
I wouldn't exactly call them a comfort.
There. Mimir is the better storyteller.
Now, don't sell yourself short, brother. Come a long way from the days of laconic fables.
It's okay. Finish your story, Kratos.
The blacksmith's daughter was the key to unlocking the box. He died trying to protect her from those who would open it.
Well, at least it's a relatable story.
It appears we've overstayed.
End this storm.
If my stories are of no comfort, take solace in knowing you did what you thought was best for your son's safety. Even these creatures know. There is little choice for a parent. You are not alone.
I'm not, am I? And now neither are they. Incredible.
The Song of the Sands. Wow. Didn't know I could get misty. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Kratos. This land sings once more. We've done good here.
No rush to leave yet, is there? Who knows what kind of adventures await us in a freshly lit Barrens? Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son. I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
No more for now. Focus. Despite his actions in Ragnarök, Atreus does still care for you.
I know. I raised a son, too. It may be hard to believe, but he was quite similar to Atreus at this age. He adored his father. Always wanted to do right by him.
What is that?
A phantom! Rune magic! Aim for the runic core!
Bloody hell! Look at that thing!
Invulnerable when it blows!
Attack!
Now, attack!
Save yourself an opening! Don't waste it! Give yourself an opening! Don't waste it!
Kratos, the strings! Bring them down!
Close in! Attack! Close in! Attack!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Careful!
Nicely done! Keep on it!
Close in! Attack!
Yelpa!
Close in! Attack!
Well, yet another gift of Fimbulwinter, I suppose.
The magic draining out of all of us has to end up somewhere. Mimir, I never asked how it felt to lose your head.
What would you have me say? That it tickled?
Merely curious.
If you wish to derive some satisfaction from my pain, I'm afraid you'll be disappointed. Kratos swung swift and true, didn't you, brother? I felt nary a scratch.
Shame. You know, I would have beaten you.
What?
Atreus hadn't been there.
Perhaps.
We could go again. Find out for certain.
I would rather not.
I'll bet you wouldn't.
Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son. I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
Enough talk for now. Be ready.
Now, if we could get back to the story of Hrimthur, the stonemason's son. I was hoping to get Freya's version of what happened.
There isn't that much to tell. I knew nothing of it at first, surely because Odin didn't expect to lose the bet. A mysterious mason had to build the entire wall in 3 turns of the season.
2! It was 2!
And if he was late, he'd be owed nothing. But if he succeeded, he was promised an audience with the queen. Or so I learned one day when Odin burst into our bedchambers, raging and half-drunk before noon, telling me to get dressed and go see what the mason wants.
Another time. We must focus.
This mentions a spell that puts trolls to sleep, and a magic relic that acts as a sort of counterspell.
Freya, here.
A dawn bloom. You have an interest in botanicals now?
Freya, can we return to your story of Hrimthur? You said if he built Asgard's wall in time, he was promised an audience with you.
Yes, and built it he did. So, off I went, not knowing what had truly been promised or expected. Dagger stashed in my robe for emergency. And this mason, this giant in disguise.
His name was Hrimthur!
He just smiled to see me. And as you said, he whispered in my ear.
Not now.
You once revived a giant's corpse to stop a certain fight we won't talk about. Could you call on that power again?
Maybe. Do you have a massive giant's corpse for me to revive?
No?
Well, there you go.
getting back to your story, Freya. You granted an audience to Hrimthur after he finished building Asgard's wall. What at long last did he whisper to you?
Well, he said the Aesir had killed his father, and he needed to know that one day they'd burn for it. I pointed out I was Aesir now too, technically. He gave me a look, as if he somehow knew better, and continued. He said he'd built in a structural flaw behind the Asgard Realm Tower.
I knew it! How do we make use of it?
We don't. He said Surtur would know what to do. And if Surtur's approaching Asgard's wall...
Then it is already Ragnarok.
Aye, blast it. I hoped it might have given us another way. Freya, I've always wondered, why was Freyr so revered here so quickly upon his first arrival?
Well, to begin with, it wasn't his first arrival. Very few know this, but Freyr was one of the earliest visitors to Alfheim, back in the dawn of realm travel.
Oh? Bit before my time. Do tell.
We believed for a long time that all the giants had died in the flood, until one of them appeared in Vanaheim.
Enough. We will continue later.
I can hold on to those crests from Vanaheim, if you don't mind. Want something in particular? And for the Valkyrie Queen? Something in mind? No need to thank me.
We're heading back to Vanaheim?
We still have unfinished business there. We've still got to find that mysterious orb for Lunda. And what else? You asked us to explore the river delta with you. Perhaps it's time we did so.
I'm with you.
Well, lady, I was curious about some of the flora we've encountered on our travels.
And you will remain curious. It's not my job to teach you everything, Mimir.
Look, I was just asking.
And you have been told.
Oh, you can say that again.
Bu bölümü de burada bitirelim. Sonraki bölümde görüşmek üzere.